seven Jurassic movies in. That may seem like too many, and I should be sick of this franchise by now, right? Well, how the fuck am I still on board with this franchise? Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Jurassic World Rebirth. So, Jurassic World Rebirth is the seventh installment in the Jurassic Park slash World franchise, which I call just the Jurassic franchise. And it is directed by Gareth Edwards, the same director as Godzilla 2014, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, and previously the creator. And it stars Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, Rupert Friend, Manuel Garcia Rulfo, Luna Blayos, um, Ed Skrein, etc. And the film tells a story taking place 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, where covert operations expert Zora Bennett, played by Scarlett Johansson, is contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission to secure genetic material from the world's three most massive dinosaurs. When Zora's operation intersects with a civilian family whose boating expedition was capsized, they all find themselves stranded on an island where they must come face to face with a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades, which is the creation of the D-Rex, a mutant dinosaur that looks like a mutant dinosaur that looks like a xenomorph, like with a xenomorph like head. That basically was seen in a prologue, and it has led scientists to abandon their lab. But they are unaware of this D-Rex, and so they must face it before getting out of the island. So yeah, I'm personally not a dino enthusiast. I mean, do I like dinosaurs? Yes, but there are a handful of people who are massive dinosaur enthusiasts. Like they know dinosaurs so well, and then they would just like this franchise to its core. And yeah, so and even though I'm not a dinosaur enthusiast, I am a fan of this franchise. And if I think I've become one of the biggest fans of this franchise now. Now that so many people have turned against this franchise, especially after how hated the Jurassic World Dominion was, which I'll get to in a bit. But I want to say other stuff first. Yeah, so I'm proud. I feel like just one of the biggest fans because I'm one of those people who still eats up this franchise, no matter what movie it is. Now, when it comes to my takes on this franchise, so with the first three films, I mean, Jurassic Park is a movie that is impossible to hate. I don't know how anyone can just not like that movie. It's among the top five greatest Spielberg movies yet, and I'd say it's the better Spielberg movie of 1993 than Schindler's List. In all honesty, well, Schindler's List needs a rewatch. Maybe that could be better, but I need to rewatch at some point. I don't know when. But yeah, Jurassic Park. I rewatched the movie and it still holds up very well. I mean, I rewatched it recently. It's a film that has it's a film that revolutionized the CGI or practical effects where Spielberg uses animatronics to create these dinosaurs, and as a result, these dinosaurs look absolutely real than ever. I mean, the movie paints dinosaurs as wonderful creatures, and then you got those kinds of dinosaurs that can be terrifying, and when they're terrifying, they really are terrifying as hell. And I mean that another level of terrifying. And besides the dinosaur stuff, I mean the movie has iconic score with the theme like dun 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 dun. Yeah, how can anyone not love that? And you also got such lovable characters. Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, my favorite character. Ian Malcolm and John Hammond and even the two kids they're great as well. Despite this franchise being known for its horrible kids. But when it comes to the sequels, the two Jurassic Park sequels, Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park is to me the most overrated film, Jurassic Park film to me. people only defend that film just because it's directed by Steven Spielberg. But sure, yes, I mean Spielberg's direction was great, but outside of that, the story and script is kind of boring. The movie is just boring. I like the Ian Malcolm in this, but he cannot handle it on his own without Alan and Ellie. I think that they both carry the franchise more than Ian to me personally. And yeah, it's just yeah, and it's not very memorable as well. Like the only memorable thing about the film is like the third act with like that the dinosaur, that terrifying dinosaur chase, and then the T Rex escaping to like the city, and then attacking the city. Yeah, by the way, love that climax, by the way. And then you get that shitty Jurassic Park 3. Oh my goodness. The less said about Jurassic Park 3, the better. And then there comes the Jurassic World trilogy. I rewatched the first Jurassic World. Like I actually rewatched all three of them in preparation for this one, alongside the first Jurassic Park. And let me tell you, I think the Jurassic World trilogy is overhated. How the fuck does the first Jurassic World get hate now? Like, what happened at that time when people hyped up the first Jurassic World and then loved it when it came out? Oh, but I only loved it just because I wanted to see a new Jurassic Park film, but actually it's not well made. Yeah, Seth. I think the first Jurassic World is the best in the Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard trilogy. I know I said Dominion when I first reviewed it, but actually it's the first one. That movie is just a hell of fun. It actually brought back experiences of when I watched this movie in theaters. Yeah, despite me shitting on 2015, and I plan to do a video explaining on why 2015 is one of the worst years of my life. Watching Jurassic World in theaters is actually among the best and most memorable experiences of 2015. And then there's Jurassic World, the Fallen Kingdom, a movie that I hated. I was not very fond of when I first saw it in cinemas. But maybe it's because it's like that one film where I was actually like really late going into it. Like I missed the opening prologue and then the introduction of Macy. I think like I remember when I came in the film, it was at the scene when Claire reunited with Owen in the cafe. Yeah, that was the first scene I saw when I entered the cinema late for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Um, and then in 2019, and so when I decided that's actually pretty bad. It's a bad movie. But then in rewatching it in 2022 in preparation for Dominion, I actually found some enjoyment in that film. I think Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is a guilty pleasure, and I appreciate it for being like the most horror-ish film in the Jurassic franchise, but it is stupid. And then there's the most underrated Jurassic movie, Jurassic World Dominion. The hate that this movie gets is so extreme. Like the amount of hate that film has, it actually made people done with this franchise for good. Like it made this franchise lose its fans. And so yeah, so people when it comes to Jurassic World Rebirth, people were split on whether they were excited for this one or not. Some some people were not excited for this one mainly because of the fact that they're burnt out by the franchise, and it took place after Jurassic World Dominion. Yeah, people eventually thought that there was no saving this franchise, but then you got other side of people, the side that I'm in, who were excited for this film because it looked like a return to form for the Jurassic franchise. It looked like it's going back to basics, and it's bringing back what we loved about the original Jurassic Park, which is just a smaller scale, the story on an island with dinosaurs actually being terrifying and treated with respect once again. And not to mention, Gareth Edwards is directing it. I think Gareth Edwards is such a great director. Is he one of the best directors working today? No, but he's a director who I can look up to. And can get excited for anything he does. Jurassic. I mean, when it comes to Gareth Edwards films, there is one Edwards movie I personally do not like, and that is Godzilla 2014. But that's long beyond the days. But then Gareth Edwards did Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which is to me the best Disney Star Wars movie, no competition, and it's also the best Gareth Edwards movie without question. Like if anyone were to ask me what's your favorite Gareth Edwards movie, it's Rogue One without any hesitation. And then he did a creator, which I think is such an underrated gem. It's an original blockbuster, but it's kind of a shame it flopped because people just don't want to see original blockbusters, which is just sad. So yeah, I will say though when they announced a new Jurassic film, I was kind of iffy about it. I was like, I don't know about this one. I mean, but then when they announced that Gareth Edwards is directing this, I got excited for it. I was like, okay, I'm in. And then you got the cast too. I mean, great cast like Jonathan Bailey, Mersha Ali, and then you got the lead, Scarlett Johansson. Yes, a female lead in a Jurassic franchise, and it's no other than Scarlett Johansson, one of the most popular actresses ever. Now, Scarlett Johansson, I wouldn't go as far as putting her in my favorite actresses list, but she is an honorable mention in my top 20 favorite actresses of all time list. So yeah, and the trailers did have me sold, but fortunately, wait, let me move that laptop first. There might be a bit of sound. Okay, yeah, and then yeah, the trailers also had me sold, had me pretty excited for this, and yeah, but then unfortunately the reviews came out, and yeah, people clearly did not give this movie a chance. They just straight up hated it just because of how much they hate Dominion. But yeah, but I still watch this movie with open mind. Now I did lower my expectations for a bit because of because of some people's explanations. It kind of made me a little anxious and scared that this might actually be disappointment. The haters might actually be right. And yeah, and yeah, and after seeing Jurassic World Rebirth for myself, I gotta say, this movie was freaking awesome. Like, and seriously, I don't get the hate for this film at all. And I am convinced that, that either people just refused to give this a chance or only said this was mid slash bad just because it has a low Rotten Tomato score. But as someone who actually is still a fan of this franchise and defended the Jurassic World trilogy with Chris Pratt, I think that this is the best Jurassic World movie ever. Also, so before I get into this review, I just like to address the elephant in the room. This movie should not have been called Jurassic World because this movie has nothing to do with Jurassic World, and we're moved past the Jurassic World franchise. In fact, that's actually what made me concerned about this new Jurassic film upon announcements that it's another Jurassic movie. This movie clearly is starting a new era. And considering that it went back to the basics of the Jurassic Park movies, I think this movie should have been called Jurassic Park Rebirth, not Jurassic World Rebirth. Yeah, it is just, ugh, yeah. I don't get why they had to call this Jurassic World. This, yeah, but yeah, Jurassic World Rebirth is the best Jurassic World movie, and it is the second best film in the Jurassic franchise behind, obviously, the original Jurassic Park. This is a film that understands what makes the original Jurassic Park so timeless, and it goes for it despite not fully reaching that level. While I like the fun and campy vibes of the Jurassic World films, it's such a breath of fresh air for the franchise to go back to basics. It has that grittiness and horrorish tone of the original. This is all thanks to the direction of Gareth Edwards, who knows how to create the gritty and grounded feel of franchise movies. As he did something like Rogue One, a movie that like the most grounded Star Wars movie yet. And another advantage of the film is the writer David Coep, who wrote the first Jurassic Park. And yeah, so although yes, the story it was nothing groundbreaking. It was a simple story that's pretty harmless. Like there's nothing like outright atrociously dumb about the story. And yes, I didn't find anything stupid in my opinion, and nothing quite absurd too. The visual effects that once again feel very practical and less CGI was used. The animatronics of the dinosaurs feel even more real than ever, especially on the T Rex. Oh, by the way, yeah, going to this movie, one of the biggest positives of the movie was that T Rex scene, that T Rex chasing the raft scene. Everybody loved that scene, even the haters. I admit that was an awesome scene. And at first I thought, are they over exaggerating? Like people are saying, oh my gosh, the raft scene, the river raft scene was so scary. It's the scariest scene in the franchise. I thought that people were just over exaggerating about that scene, but after seeing that moment for myself, yeah, it deserves that scene deserves the hype because it is freaking awesome. Seeing the T Rex come to life in the big screen just blew me away. It really feel the T Rex was just so huge in scale, and I was like, holy shit! Yeah, when I saw that T Rex come to life, yeah, that was my reaction. And I kind of agree that the river raft scene is the best scene in the film. It's either that or the final battle with the T Rex, which I'll get to later. It's almost like that river raft scene. It's almost like the daytime equivalent of the T Rex attacking the tour jeep scene in the original, based on the suspense and terror of it alone. And there was like this one scene with like the river raft on like on the river with like nobody in it. This and the little girl, what's her name again? Isabella, I think. She was like under the river raft, and then like we see like nothing, just pure silence, and then the T Rex just comes down and bites it in like jump scare fashion. I'm not gonna lie, that actually got me. Yeah, I actually got shocked when I saw that. Yeah. Um. So yeah. The dinosaurs in the film are treated just like how they were in the original, which is to be scary, terrifying, while still wonderful at the same time. The pacing moved slower than expected, but it never bored me personally. I was never bored. Sure, it does take a very long time for our main characters to reach the island, but the moments before the island scene do provide something to chew on, like that really long boat action scene, which is one of the highlights of the film. Now, the characters are nowhere near as flat as people make them out to be. I genuinely liked all the characters in this one. Scarlett Johansson's Zora Bennett is now officially my favorite character in this whole Jurassic franchise. This is the best non MCU role from Scarlett Johansson alongside Marriage Story, or at least since Marriage Story. I mean, I think role wise, I like Zora Bennett the most out of Scarlett Johansson's roles outside of Black Widow. Even though I think her best non MCU performance is in Marriage Story, the role that I think should have won the Oscars for Best Actress is ever is Renee Zellweger. The male characters are great too, with both Henry and Duncan. Jonathan Bailey and Mahershala Ali gave great performances. It's ultimately the actors that elevate the characters. I mean, if we saw less popular actors cast in this film, then yeah, maybe the characters could have been worse. And going to this movie, one thing I was expecting is that the family, the Latino family characters were going to suck us because like it seemed like they're going to be just a random family who's just annoying and would make stupid decisions. But I surprisingly tolerated them. They were not annoying at all, and they can be quite charming, especially Isabella, who had this really adorable bond with Dolores, the cutest dinosaur I've ever seen. And and yeah, the final battle is absolutely intense. It really gets attention going. the The movie has this a great, really good tension building, and when the tension comes to fruition, it really is worth it. The D-Rex may not be the greatest dinosaur antagonist like what I hoped for, since it wasn't as scary as I thought. But the D-Rex is very unique, probably the coolest looking dinosaur yet. The Indoraptor from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom still remains the best dinosaur antagonist in the franchise. Yeah. And the D-Rex is not even the standout dinosaur in the film. That would go to the T Rex from the river raft scene. Now the movie is not flawless at all. Well, considering that the first Jurassic Park is like the only film in the franchise that's flawless. I have one major flaw in the movie and a few other nitpicks. So first, let's talk about the nitpicks. As much as I really like the D-Rex a lot, I wish the story had something to do with it. The story was mostly about the team extracting the egg, and the D-Rex just shows up with no one being aware of it. And even though they set up the D-Rex in the prologue, they don't really address that. Like they don't like the characters don't wonder how did the D-Rex come to life and all that stuff. Yeah. And also, I do think the family should not have separate from the team, so that we wouldn't have to see them go their own separate ways. And yeah, so I would have liked them better if they had like if they were like together with the main characters the entire time. And then the one major flaw. Now, before I get to that one major flaw, I just want to let you guys know that I will be spoiling the movie, so spoiler warning. The major flaw I had with the film would have to be the twist villain. And who is the twist villain, you may ask? It's Martin Krebs, Rupert Friend's character. He's like the guy who recruits Zora and Zora, Henry and Duncan to be a part of the team and and do this mission. And my goodness, it turns out he is he is a twist villain in the film. And he has competition with Eli Mills as the worst human villain in the franchise. The movie that doesn't bother explaining why he's a villain in the film, and he hardly did anything bad in the film other than, well, literally the only bad thing he did was push a teenage girl off a boat. Yeah, I'm not kidding. That's the only truly bad thing he does throughout the film. And by the way, the character I'm referring to is one of the ones in a part of the family, and yeah, and then when that girl who I forgot the name like confronts Martin Krebs, yeah, he just says, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm evil, and I'm gonna get the stuff you extracted. I'm gonna get away from it." But why is he using the extracted dinosaur blood from for his evil desires, and then he just gets away with it laughing? But the movie doesn't even explain that. So yeah. So overall, Jurassic World Rebirth is a breath of fresh air for the franchise, going back to basics by lowering the stakes and having the grounded, gritty, and horror-ish tone that the original had. This is basically the Alien Romulus of the Jurassic franchise. The only difference is that I found Romulus to be a flawless masterpiece, while this isn't. I can clearly tell people who hate this Jurassic film, which by the way I think should be called Jurassic Park Rebirth, that I think that the characters should address the D-Rex and actually find a way to kill it. So that should be what the sequel is all about. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna give Jurassic World Rebirth a 4.5 stars out of 5. Great movie. So yeah, so also for my review of Jurassic World, would you agree with me that this is the best Jurassic World movie and the second best Jurassic Park film behind Jurassic film behind the original, or are you with the majority that this was a huge misfire for the franchise? So yeah, I may rank the franchise in the future. I will rank the franchise this week if I have time. If I have time, but we'll see. And yeah, well, and yeah, I'll rank the Gareth Edwards films right here. So yeah, if I were to rank the 5 Gareth Edwards movies that I have seen, it would be number 5 is easily Godzilla 2014, the worst one. Number 4 is Monster, the 2010 indie film that put Gareth Edwards on the map. Well, kind of. Number 3 is this one, Jurassic World Rebirth. Number 2 is The Creator, and number 1 easily Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. So yeah, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and in case I won't have enough time to make my ranking video of the Jurassic films, stay tuned for my review on Superman, which will be my next video. But so yeah.